Hey, BookTube. Things are getting out of control. Okay, I I misplaced my coffee cup. Okay, I'm pretty sure it was like a half full with coffee. I don't know where it is, and it's not like this place is huge, but I can't find my coffee cup at all. And Fred and Gizmo don't have thumbs, so but I'm doing a tag, and I want to thank Steve Donahue and Richardson Reads, both channels you should be watching, um, for throwing this kind of at me. I don't do tags enough. I need to get tagged more. I feel like I'm playing with myself most of the time over here. Okay, so let's tag me. I know a bunch of people tag me like that one like 3 week stint where I didn't post very much. And that was like the last time anyone tagged me, and I didn't do any of them. And so, like, I'm a big old sucker. Anyway, so this is the YouTube Confessions tag. Now, this sounds a lot juicier than it is. So, everybody calm down, okay? Um, Maybe I'll make a super cringy confession tag. Ooh, okay, so question number one. How many hours a week do you spend filming and editing? I used to spend quite a lot of time editing because I was trying to make quick cuts and putting pictures up in the video and all this other stuff. And it got to a point where I was spending so much time editing and working on editing and thinking about certain things I could like add into my videos that I wasn't making very many videos. I was making like one every like 5 days ish, and it was kind of cutting into everything else, and so yeah, that yeah, I just kind of stopped caring. So now, like, if there's something really bad, like if Shaylee walks in, Shaylee doesn't like being on camera, so she walks in, I have to cut that bit out. If the dogs are barking to the point where I can't think, I'll have to do an edit. Things like that, but normally I just record and then upload. So are you a spender or a saver? As far as like what I do here, I have not spent any money on BookTube other than buying books. And I'm kind of buying more books than I normally would, just because people love book hauls and I love to buy books. And before there was always like me going like, oh well, maybe I shouldn't go book shopping. But now that there's like a legit reason you guys like book hauls, I could go shopping all the time, like whenever I feel like it, because I could always say, well, I need to do a book haul. So, other than that, I film on iMovie on my MacBook, and use the built-in mic, and then use iMovie to upload it to YouTube. So I don't do anything. Who is your YouTube crush? The better question is, who isn't my YouTube crush? Like, I pretty much crush on everybody. I just feel like we're all so close. I'm trying to think. Not like a crush, but like I'm trying to think if there was anyone when I started, like that I was watching more than others, because See, the funny thing is when you first come into BookTube, let's say, um, and you don't know what to expect. Like, I didn't have like a book that said, okay, people do book hauls, people do TBRs, people do top five Wednesday, people do um, uh, I don't know what else do people do? Weekend reads, Friday reads, just like there were all these things. So when I first started watching BookTube and finding BookTube people, um, like I thought everything people did was like their own thing. So like obviously Steve doing mail hauls, he's probably the only person on earth who gets that privilege. But that's not true. But I'm trying to think of what was another one. Like a monthly TBR. I found out pretty quick that everybody does that because like all of a sudden everyone did their TBR video. But there were a couple, I don't have any examples, so this sucks. But it's like I thought like a book haul was something that like this one person did because this first person I found did a book haul, and that's like a legit thing for that person, and that's their shtick. So I was watching BookTube for probably a couple months before I started realizing like that anyone could do anything, and there's more than five people doing BookTube. I kind of just like, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. I hope that was helpful. Who are your favorite YouTubers, BookTubers, BoobTubers? That is a really tough question because for rants and upcoming releases, Steve's the best for me, my favorite. For library shelf tours, Richardson Reads, obviously. Obs. Um, then there's just like, there's people that do, like, what's a good example? For instance, a booktuber that does read YA mixed with her other stuff that isn't annoying to me is Doris at All the Books. My favorite sci-fi fantasy person is Peg. But like there's just we watch so many like people and what I could say is daily content. Like if you have daily content, you become a habit. And so like when me and Zoe finally sit down at the end of the day to watch BookTube, it's like, okay, well these are the people that like we watch every night, so let's just go down the list kind of thing. So I think daily content is pretty important. So I like people who do daily content more than people who don't, just because I watch it more. How long do you spend getting ready every day? What you see is what you get. Boom. If it's like, how long do I pamper myself before I get on camera? 7 or 8 seconds, I would say. If it's how much time do I spend researching stuff, it depends on what I'm talking about because early on when I was doing like different kinds of videos, like some of the videos like history stuff and artwork stuff, I would spend a lot more time on those. But now, since we're such close buddies, I just come on to talk about whatever I want to talk about when I feel like talking about it. How long did, oh, I just read that question. Question 6. What's one thing you're excited about in the upcoming year? Well, in general, my birthday, spring, fall, those things. As far as what I'm going to be doing on BookTube is that next year I'm going to have my 1 year BookTube birthday. And it's going to be the first time I get to start from January 1st and hopefully go through the whole year. So that'll be fun. Because like this year I've read like almost 300 books, and but because I started in like the end of May or something, and did the whole yearly reading challenge thing, I've only read like 200 according to from when I started on Goodreads. So it's going to be nice to have like a whole year. So that's kind of fun. What's your most awkward filming moment? I have these pretty much daily, especially when Zoe's around. I'll say something, and as I'm saying it, I know she's going to freak. And I know it's cringy, and but I'm like already halfway through saying it, and like there's no stopping. So that's kind of bad. There's some other stuff that was pretty awkward, but I'll keep that one to me. How are you dressed? I'm wearing some shorts, a Johnny Cash tank, and I actually have socks on, which is pretty crazy. So, yeah, that's it. Rock and roll, people. What are you most proud of in life? This is so weird. Family, my family. Yeah. What makes talking in front of the camera comfortable for you? Well, considering I used to take my clothes off for money in front of the camera, this is a lot easier. No, I'm just kidding. That's not true at all. Probably because for years and stuff, I've been doing podcasts and stuff where I'm sitting talking to myself or talking to one other person over Skype or Hangouts or something. So this is just like another extension of that. So it didn't really feel strange coming in. What's your worst filming habit? There's a couple. I tend to make a lot of videos early in the morning because it's quiet. And when I first get up, my sinuses are so jacked that like I'm constantly like clearing my throat and like having to like stop and like blow my nose and stuff. It's just I have super bad allergies, and the pollen up here, even though it's like winter, it's like crazy. Like there's so much stuff, like particles here. So that's really bad. I almost cleared my throat just then. I'll just do it again. Yeah, so sinuses. I try to take like Claritin and stuff, but sometimes I forget. So yeah, so that's pretty bad. Zoe would say my language and my no social filter thing, that like things that are social niceties and things you aren't supposed to say. I just like but hey, she knew that when she married me, and I think that's how I won her in the first place. So, oh, and another thing I do. Oh my gosh, if you guys haven't noticed it, I'm sure you have. A couple other things I do. why am I telling you all my faults? Now you guys are going to point them out all the time. I do. A lot of times when I'm talking, like, because I'm so used to saying horrible things, I'll play stuff in my head before I say it. So I have these pauses when I talk a lot. So there's that. And I don't know if you guys saw that video, but like there was one video where I tried to speed up the stuff and I just came off like a total drug addict. Another one is like, you know how like all of you booktubers out there, not all of you, but I know a lot of you do this, some of you don't. You have like a spot where you make your videos, you know, and you have like your camera up and you just have your lights on and all this other stuff. Like this is what I got. It's just my desk light and I just like point it up at me or else I'd be in the dark. But some of you are so good about like standing on your mark, looking into the camera, not at the screen. You know, just like, you know where your frame is. Like simple, like camera directions and stuff like that. And me, I like try that to start. And then next thing I know, I'm like, yeah, guys. And I'm talking like really loud into the computer. And I'm sure like, there's times when I've cut things I've said out of videos because I got too close and I was just talking really loud. And I'm sure it was kind of annoying. So those are some. And the longer I do this, the more at home I feel around everybody here. So, like, I'll do stuff like I'll start playing with Fred while I'm talking to you or something, and just whatever, you know, I'm playing with my dog, just like you were here, you know. So it's my videos could probably be a couple minutes shorter if I didn't think about what I'm saying before I say it, and if I didn't get distracted by my dog, and just act like we're super close and we could do whatever we want to do, and you know, no big whoop. It's all good. So yeah, so those are the YouTube confessions. Now, because this is a YouTube tag, I'm assuming it's been around forever. And I'm trying to think of who I would tag here who hasn't done this. I don't know if they've done it. I'll just say some people who might not have done it. Peg, I know Richard tagged you, or Richardson tagged you. So you're tagged. So that just means get off your keister and get it done. We want you to confess. And let me see. Shades of Orange. Book Pit. That would be interesting. Todd, the librarian, if you haven't done it. Todd was on a freaking tag kick, though, so he probably has done it. Trying to think, dude. The Usual Suspects. Secondhand Shan. Basically, if you have a channel, just do the tag. You know, it's fun. Everyone likes it. But I think I'm going to make a really cringy booktuber confessions tag. So we'll see if that works. Okay, y'all. I'm going to split. I might do, because I finished a couple things book reading wise. So I might jump in here in a bit and do a catch up. All right. Where's the button?